Alright guys, it's Monday and we're back on the TR250 project. We are continuing on with our seam sealing. First job of the day today is to wait for the auto parts stores to open up so I can get some more seam sealer. I went through the one cartridge of sealer that I had. The other two were no good. So I went on a search yesterday afternoon, couldn't find any more. So we'll hopefully be able to find some today to continue on, because I need to get this car into high build primer by about 3 o'clock this afternoon to make the window. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of work on my filtration system. I was getting a little bit of water out of the compressor when I was doing the epoxy sealer. So I'm going to check the desiccant in my tube, and I'm going to check my filter over here, and I'm going to drain the compressor again and go from there. So that's what the plan is for today. Is going to be a hot day in the garage. It's supposed to be up around 90-95ish again today with the humidity, so not a great day to be out in the garage spraying, but you got to do what you got to do. Alright, we'll bring it back when we make some progress. The next time you see this car, probably not the next time because they're going to come back probably for an update video, but soon this car will be back into gray primer. Alright, back from our parts run this morning. We got some new paint filters, we've got some more mixing cups, we got some reducer. I could only get medium, I couldn't get slow, unfortunately. Got a little bit of glazing spot putty, we got our seam sealer, a couple more tubes of seam sealer, some whirlwind filters for the paint guns, a spray gun holder, and that's about it. So success. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with the seam sealing and get that done. Still have the interior to do here all the way along and up under the bulkhead, etc. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And then we'll let that cure up, and then we'll get ready to shoot our urethane primer. Alright guys, the rest of the seam sealer has been applied. It's got a 30-minute cure time, so we're just cleaning the garage a little bit. In the meantime, we've got our products out that we're going to spray with. We've got the Shopline JP355 primer, which is a multi-purpose low VOC primer. We've got the hardener for it here, and we've got the reducers for it here. So I believe this is mixed, and I'm going to have to look this up before I spray, but I believe it's mixed 4 parts of primer, 1 part hardener, and I think it's 2 parts of reducer. And it depends on the mix whether you're using this as a actual high build primer or can be used as a sealer as well. In that case, I think you'd add more parts of reducer to it. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. So we're going to go in and just get suited up to paint. Definitely hot out here in the garage. It's going to be 90 degrees when I spray, so I'm going to be sweating to death. Anyway, we'll get her done before it gets too late in the day. Alright guys, quick update for you. It's probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so just shy of my 48-hour window cut off. So we managed to get the high build primer done. As you can see, the car is back into a gray finish versus the black. I did actually touch up the wheel wells, and I did not mask the car with the intent that I was going to go back through and just sort of touch up the black bits after the primer was sprayed. I'm going to do that with the color coat as well. I find it easier just to touch up the black versus masking the whole thing, so that seems to work pretty good. So the primer, I had a little bit of an issue spraying. I was actually using my Eastwood Concourse gun with a 1.4 tip and the decup system, and I just could not get it to spray properly out of the 1.4 tip. So I ended up having to change guns very quickly into the spray to my double bisque gun, which just has a conventional cup on it. So that makes things difficult, or more difficult, when you're trying to spray up and under certain areas, like I'd mentioned the bulkhead before, or this sail panel at the rear here, or even the inner structure of the rear legs. Basically, it's difficult to get up in there with a conventional gun, but did the best we could. I seem to have got fairly good coverage. I did get some runs along the way, but it is primer, so obviously I've got to sand this down. Got a little bit of a run here. I was trying to make the exterior panels the best I could, so I was sort of taking a little bit more time doing these panels, but obviously I didn't take enough time there. But again, that's just primer. It's going to sand out, no big deal. This is not looking too bad. Rear valance is not looking too bad. Trunk's looking pretty good. So, interior's not looking too bad. I probably should have taken more time doing the seam sealer in the engine bay area, just because it's a little more visible than some of the other areas. I'm going to say it looks factory, and by that I mean it's not applied with a lot of care. Just the way the workers did it when they got home from the pub after lunch. So that is done. So we're on the next stage now, which is again is going to be to block this down, sand it down to probably 600 grit wet, somewhere around that area, maybe 400 dry, 600 wet. We'll see. I don't need to go much farther than that on this car since it is a solid color. So that will be the next step in a couple of days. I'm going to let this dry fully and cure and shrink before I do any sanding. I'm sure I'm going to have to do a bit of spot priming here and there in certain areas that I need to go back and have a look at. But we'll see how things go when we start sanding, and we'll do whatever is required to make it look good. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Going to be a short video, but I just wanted to give you a quick update. And like I said, we won't be working on this car probably for the next 2 days. Probably doing some other small projects, and like I said, we'll get back to this probably on about maybe Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Before I go, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update on the Porsche 914 video from yesterday. Long story short, we did not get the car. We decided that it was a good idea to not continue on looking at purchasing that car based on the condition. I did come home yesterday afternoon, and as I was putting that video together for you guys to comment on, I was looking at a little bit of the videos in more detail that we had taken during the day and some of the photos, and it's obvious that that car was very, very rusty and had a lot of major issues that were visible. And again, in my video I mentioned that there were a lot of issues potentially that were invisible, since we couldn't even get into the trunk or frunk of the car, for example. So we've decided to decline putting an offer in on the car. It was very cheap. It would have been a great parts car for somebody that's currently working on a 914, but not a good restoration candidate, I'm afraid. So there's the answer on that. But thanks very much, guys, for all your views and comments. Appreciate them. So I like when you guys get involved in the channel. One day we'll have a 914. We're not going to actively pursue one, but if we happen to see one come up that's in better shape at a good price, we may act then. But for now, we passed on the one that we looked at yesterday. Hopefully it goes to a good home and doesn't get crushed or parted out. I'm sure it's going to be probably used for somebody's, as a parts car. It looks pretty far gone as far as the restoration is concerned. But again, as Lynn said in the video, any car can be restored with enough time, with enough skill, with enough patience, and with enough money. Okay, guys, that's it. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching and commenting.